Hi, my name is Corey Minter, and I'm the president of Trinity Employment Specialists. We are a staffing organization located in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and we staff for three main categories in their own separate department. One is in the medical field. We staff for everything in the medical field, from a front office position all the way up to a physician's assistant, and then also in travel nursing. And we also have general business that we staff for, and in the industrial field, light industrial primarily. And even in the industrial field, one of the things that we do is we want to put quality over quantity. And so if you are in any way looking for a job, or if you're looking for a quality staffing firm, give us a call, or at least just go check us out online and see what other people say. I believe you'll find us to be one of the best staffing firms that you could partner with. I'm going over today some career tips that I've written down. I am 45 years old, and it's weird that I'm almost 50. I feel old. This morning when I went to go work out, I had to do 5 or 6 stretches on my back just to get in there and do my warm-up sets. So I'm getting old, but when I started my career in my early 20s, and then all the way up until now, there's been a sharp learning curve. And I have some ideas that I really wish that I would have understood these concepts. Now, I will tell you, my father tried to tell me some of these things. I was too stubborn and did not want to listen. And I think had it been anyone other than my father, I think I may have listened. I'm not sure. But it was 2 nights ago, I was at a function, and a really great guy who owns a massive company here in Tulsa, he sat me down. He said, "Listen, I really wish that would you mind to please meet with my son?" He just graduated college, and he's not listening to a word I'm saying. He was like, "Man, you're a little bit younger than me. I think that you might be able to identify with him, or he might listen to you. Is there any chance I could get you to just meet with him and hang out with him for a little bit?" So this guy is a client of ours, and we're very, very happy to have him as a client. And so I was like, absolutely, I'll be happy to help. And so here is some of the advice that I intend to try to portray over to someone who's just graduating college. He's got big money signs in his eyes already. And unfortunate for him, if his father's telling me the truth, he's in for a big awakening. So here's some things that I think most younger people should consider. The first thing is that a career is a marathon. It's not a sprint. One of the things that this father told me was that his son was ready to start jumping up into middle management right now because he has his degree. And unfortunate for him, and it's unfortunate for me as well, the teachers and the instructors, the professors I had, they all told me that this was possible. With a college degree, anything is possible was what I thought. My first job, after going through the gauntlet, thinking I was going to get paid $50,000 a year minimum, was what my argument was with my dad. My first job, when I finally got humbled, was $8.63 an hour. That was the very best thing that ever happened to me, because I learned the ground bottom of the human resources field. After working there for a couple of years, I moved up into a management role. It really wasn't a management role, but the title said it was. Then I jumped up into the recruiting area. Then I jumped up into the training area. I learned every step of the process, and in the middle of that, I was becoming an expert that no one could contend with. Had I gotten what I wanted, and that was to jump up here and not start down here, I would have never become the expert than I am today. Your career is a marathon. It is not a sprint. Do not be too prideful to learn the basics. It will help you a lot. Number 2, most success comes from repetition, not changing things quickly. This was one of the toughest lessons I had to learn as a business person. I, over the time, learned that I was an entrepreneur. And most of you listening to this are not going to understand what that means. But that means I'm half genius, half crazy, all wrapped up into one little thing, to be quite frank with you. And one of the things that is really enticing to a go-getter and an entrepreneur is the next new thing, next new thing, next new thing. And what really, truly makes success, develops money, creates money-making avenues, is the ability to do the same things over and over again and slightly adjust those things. The same right things, by the way. They can't just be anything yet. And you figure out how to run your company, and you do the same things and you adjust them slightly. And if you're willing to stay the course, you will become a true expert in that field, which, by the way, to just begin to be an expert takes 2 years. And so you really need to know that most success comes from repetition, not from changing because you got bored with the repetition. And in our culture today, life gets boring really quickly because everything's got to be new and exciting all the time. And those that make the most money are going to be committed to a vision, and they're going to make small adjustments to the same things over and over again. It's very, very true. Number 3, if work was all really that great, all the rich people would have jobs. I was on a podcast with a friend of mine named Clay the other day, and he has a guy on there who is a doctor. His name is Dr. Z, and they were talking about business, and this was the quote. I thought it was really interesting. Z said, "Listen, business isn't hard. Most people have it completely wrong. Like, most people think business is hard, but it's not hard. That's what they don't understand. It's really, really, really hard." And so if you want to jump into this 6-figure category, which everyone wants to talk about, okay, I want to give you the same advice. Jumping into a 6-figure category, unless you've hit the lottery or whatever it is that you've hit, it's not just hard. It's really, really hard. And you've got to be the person that's willing to do things that other people are just not willing to do. And that is it. We've heard all of these get-rich-quick schemes, and it sounds so sexy and it sounds so great. But you go ask anyone that's got a really nice bank account, a really nice car, a really nice house, and it's not that they just have the nice houses, but their income sustains them if it's cut off today. Okay, those guys, they work their tails off, almost guaranteed. Go ask them, they'll tell you. I have enough time for one more. This was so important for me. Somebody gave me this advice. It's very, very important. Deprioritize your career when your kids are younger. Listen, for me, there was a stage until they turned about 3 where it didn't matter as much. But once they turned 3, they recognize when daddy's around and when he's not. Same thing with mom. And once you make money, you're going to recognize that making money is not the most important thing. It's not the big dog that you're looking for. It's not the satisfaction that you're looking for. Everyone is looking for something, is looking for the same thing. I know something about you and you know something about me and we've never even met. And that thing is we all want to be happy. Okay, well, happiness at the end of the day, it's not going to come from money. It's really, truly going to come from the experiences you have with people you love, and that is really, really important. And when you give the most of yourself to your family during this time period, it's a better payoff than the grind. Give Trinity a call, and if we can help you with your staffing in any way. This is part 1. I'm going to do 3 parts to this, so please keep listening if I engaged you at all. You can go check all of our jobs that we have in staffing at trinityemployment.com, or you can just give us a call at 918-622-2588.